Can new traders still make it in this market? Many of you started trading in last 2 years and the timing was good because that's how these things happen. Many people start trading when the market is good. Now going forward, if you want to make it, you have to ask some questions, and if you have answer to those questions, then you might be able to survive or prosper. It's not only survive, you might be able to prosper for many years. So some of the questions which a lot of time, like these newer kind of traders who've been in the business only for 2 years approach me and ask me. So I have a series of questions which I ask them to answer, which is basically a kind of a framework for thinking and putting together a trading approach or a trading plan. And let's look at these questions just as like an exercise in trying to understand or think about these issues. The first set of questions is really, um, do I understand the inherent market structure? Because when we get into trading, most of the time, the understanding of the market is low, something works, and we just keep it. But like if you have to build a trading career of many years or you want to make a lot of money, then you need to have some understanding of how the market operates, what are the different ways in which people make money in the market, and why do those ways work, or how does the market behave, or why does it do what it does on a uh, daily basis or on a quarterly basis or on a yearly basis or a 5 years or a 10 years. And so understanding the inherent structure of the market and what are your possible choices is important, because you can become a growth investor, you can become a value investor. Within growth, you can become an early growth investor, you can become a momentum kind of a player. You can go and like trade like the IBD can slim kind of an approach. But each one of them is based on inherent market structure. So if you understand the inherent market structure, at some stage, every trader implicitly or explicitly understand their market structure or the market structure which is working for them. And the sooner you can do this, the better it is. Sooner you can answer this question: look, can I do I understand, and what can I do to understand? And is your setup based on a big inherent market structure? Because if it is based on big inherent market structure, then it is likely to work. Because if it is based on something which is ephemeral, or if it is based on something which is just an indicator, uh, you don't have a setup then. So try and ask this question to yourself, because these questions will give you an answer as to either you have a setup which is based on inherent structure or you don't have. If you don't have, then you'll go back to the drawing board and you'll build a setup based on inherent market structure. Now, if you have a setup and everything, then do I have a process? Because this is a process oriented business. Um, Successful traders have a process. They do the same thing again and again and again, right? And I just trade three setups: episodic pivot, anticipation, and momentum burst. Every day I do the same thing. Every day in the morning I do the same thing. Every day in the evening I do the same thing. Every day in the first half an hour of the day of the market open, I do the same thing. I run the same scan. I do everything. So having a process is important, because process profit is an outcome of following a right process basically. So do I have the process, is a question one should ask. And if you ask that question, then you will have answer whether I have process or not. And if you don't have, then it is easy to set a process and start fine tuning the process. Process takes time to build, process takes time to fine tune. Processes, once you start following a process, you'll realize that there might be a faster, better way of doing things. So those are all issues which you should be working on. And the next question is very important, because in order to be confident trader, very confident and consistent trader, it's both, like you need confidence and you need consistency. You need to have mind clarity as to why, how, and when is my setup going to work. Because if you are basically trading the bullish side and if you're trading breakouts, you need to understand under what market condition this thing is going to work. And then The ability to only trade that setup in that market condition and not try it in a market condition like current market condition is very important. So even if you have a setup, you need to really understand when does this setup work best, like reversals or mean reversion kind of things work under certain market conditions, or uh, shorts will work under certain market conditions, or following some kind of a value kind of a strategy works very well if the market is having a correction or having a deeper correction, or the sector is out of favor, rather than when everything is at 52-week high. So these questions, do have a mind clarity about why, how, and when my setup works, is extremely important. If you talk to traders who are successful, they will be able to clearly explain what is their setup, why are they using it, how are they using it, and in what conditions that setup will work. This is the key difference between people who are struggling and people who are successful. The successful people have extreme mind clarity. They can explain it to a 10-year-old kid, or they can explain it to their girlfriend or wife or like husband or friend very easily, what they're doing, what is their setup, how, why does it work. And if you don't have that, then clarify and re-clarify till you get mind clarity. Mind clarity comes through reflection. If you reflect on your setup, if you try and get it, if you try and get into deeper nature of your setup, then you get this mind clarity. And mind clarity is very important. Once you have mind clarity, the actual physical job of doing trading is extremely easy. And mind clarity allows you to have conviction. Mind clarity will allow you to not get into FOMO. Mind clarity allows you to put a stop at the right time. So mind clarity is something which you should strive for, and that is a challenge which, if you have just started trading in the first 2 or 3 years, some people, they get it, like, and they are smart, or like they are very fast in learning things, and they can immediately understand. And sometimes if you don't have a right setup, you're going from setup to setup, and you don't have real mind clarity about what you're doing or what is the setup about. So try and get mind clarity if you just joined, or like, and if you just started trading in the last 2 or 3 years. Do I spend time doing deep dives to enhance deeper understanding of my setup? If you talk to any trader who's been successful in this business, they have gone into significant details of their setup. They know everything about their setup. So they have a lane, they stick to their lane, but within the lane, they have a lot of detailed understanding or depth. And in order to do that, they use various techniques, essentially studying past behavior, or if they're a day trader, they record their screen and then they go back and see, or they will have a full study of big moves, minute by minute, and all those things. So that is really basically the key to developing a deeper understanding of your setup. And you cannot take a shortcut in this. Okay? You might have been lucky in the last 1.5 years. A lot of people were lucky, but like, if you want to go places and you want to make millions of dollars and all, you need to really have a deeper understanding. And deeper understanding is built by narrowing your focus and significantly going into details of your setup. So you need to create time for doing deep dive. You might be trading, but simultaneously you have to create deep dive time, or time to go deeper and deeper into setup. And that is the key to being successful. If you see successful traders in this business, they have very high self-leadership quotient, right? They found their own method. They had a lot of difficulties. They overcome those difficulties. They were not making profit. If you study many traders, they spend 5 years, 6 years, 3 years, 10 years trying to be successful and consistent. Right? Now, only if you have high leadership, self-leadership, you will be able to persevere for 6 years without making profit, or 3 years, or 10 years, right? And again, you'll see the same story of like traders spending 6 years trying to become successful, traders spending 3 years. Now, what is going to keep you going at it is going to be your ability to self-lead, not get discouraged, have high aspiration level, be creative, innovative, because you have to find solutions. And that is what self-leadership is. Like self-leadership is about being creative, innovative, finding solutions. I had a big problem of like uh, taking my account up and taking it down. So creative solution I found is market monitor, right? I once my account size or the amount of capital which I traded became bigger, it creates its own problem. So in order to find that overcome that issue, I started trading higher price, more liquid stocks. So these are all things which require creativity, innovation, and that is what self leadership is. People who are followers, they're waiting for somebody to tell them what to do. And even if somebody tells them what to do, they don't know what to do next, right? So they are basically waiting for somebody to do things. While people who are successful in this business, they hustle, they find ways, they lead themselves to profitability. If you are struggling currently, you will have to lead yourself to profitability, whereby you have a setup, you have a process, you have no emotional issues, and you are constantly motivated to make more and more money. That is self leadership, and that is very important. So if you are one of those person who doesn't have very high self leadership, uh, try and build self leadership, or rethink your approach to trading. Is it really for me? Can I really do it if I don't want to like and spend so many years or time finding things? One of the key test of self leadership, according to me, is a very easy thing. Is like, can you find things on your own on using search, Google? Means how many people are like, just ask questions like this. Like I get a lot of like, in a day I get around 60, 70 emails from people asking, what is a float? What is this? Those people could have found the answer. I found those answers on my own for those problems, right? If they just Googled, they would find many of these answers. So self leadership is your ability to solve your problem, to collect information, hustle. If you don't have the money to buy the tool, expensive tool, how you can like hustle is the self leadership, and it's very important skill. And every successful trader has it. Do I have the aspiration for my trading, high aspiration for trading profits? So many people approach me saying, I just want to make $400 a day. I want to make $1,000 a day. Uh, That's an approach. That's a very wrong way of looking at trading. It's the aspiration is just to make $400. Like that's like in a very different way of. It's like saying, give me a job which is going to make me $100 a day, kind of a thing, which is very different from like I want to become the best trader I can be. So do I have an aspiration level? Because if you have aspiration level $400 or $4,000 or $10,000 become easy. If you don't have high aspiration level and you set your aspiration level at $400, you don't even get it there. So it's not like you look at it's easy to make $400. You need higher aspiration to try and understand and become a better trader, and then money will come. So do I have the high aspiration level to do it? The other thing which is very important is that traders learn through social interaction, and that is why you will see that traders learn very fast when they interact with other traders with similar problems or people who have been successful. And this is why you see these people saying, oh, don't go on social media, don't be do, just sit in a cave and do it. If you sit in a cave, you are going to spend more time becoming successful. The easier way to become successful is to basically surround yourself with people who are highly successful, or talk to people who are highly successful, or interact with other traders, because the advantage of that is somebody has found a solution to a problem which is a big problem for you, but that person might have already traveled that path, or people have solutions to your problem. And social learning, like all the theory, all the research on learning shows that the most important element of learning is social learning or social interaction. And that is why if you can create or you hang around with people who are successful traders, or you see people who are successful traders, or you create your own tribe of people who are successful traders, then you'll be more likely to get successful very fast. So this is a framework of questions which you should ask if you just started trading and you want to continue to make profit and to go on to make bigger and bigger profit and really fine tune your trading expertise to a level where it becomes effortless. The goal should be to make trading effortless, and it should not be a drudgery. It shouldn't be something where you're holding your head saying, what do I do? What do I do? And no. It should become effortless. You should be able to enjoy it. You should be able to make money out of it and not be constantly in a drawdowns.